This is a Red Wing Iron Ranger, and underneath this black exterior hides a red leather core. It didn't start out this way though. These boots used to be Hawthorne Mulesskinners, which is a light rough-out leather. But with red dye, black Venetian Leather Balm, and a lot of inspiration from Rose Anvil's Blood Core and Naked and Famous's Red Core, I turned them into something that wears like black and ages like crimson. And I'll show you how to make your own. You're going to need a few things to get started, and the most obvious is a suede or rough-out boot, but the color matters a lot here. The lighter the leather you find, the redder the outcome will be. For me, this meant taking these used Red Wing Iron Ranger 8083s and deeply cleaning them as much as possible. This involved applying undiluted Dawn dish soap and scrubbing relentlessly for a good amount of time with a brass brush. Once your boot is dry and ready, you'll need masking tape, sandpaper, red leather dye, black Venetian Leather Balm, wool daubers, and gloves. Could you use suede dye instead? Sure, but from my understanding, it's less concentrated in pigment, and I want it as strong of a color as possible. Similar to Rose Anvil's Blood Core products, which is a leather from Seidel Tannery, we want the edges to show a vibrant red, and that means we have to take some extra care of them as they will be the only clue your boots are red inside. If, after cleaning, the edges of your boots are still matted, take sandpaper and lightly sand them to raise the nap and even out the nap length. I'm using 220 grit sandpaper here, as it's what I had on hand, and it worked just fine. Likely whatever you have could also work. Because of the exposed leather edges, the Iron Ranger makes for a perfect boot to customize with Venetian Leather Balm and dyes. When choosing a boot to try this process on, suede or rough-out isn't the only consideration. The panels and construction will greatly affect how the end result will present itself. More panels, potentially the better. The next step would be protecting your welt and outsole, and because the leather dye will be quite runny, spending time here to do the best job can prevent a lot of regret. But you'll see, even with my preparation, it wasn't exactly perfect in saving the welt from the dye. When taping your boots up, I recommend overlapping tape on any seams you have, along with using a credit card or similar to press the tape into the stitching and welt as much as you can. Should your boots have a black lug outsole, covering it entirely won't necessarily be a big issue, but if you have a white wedge outsole on your boots, then I suggest taping over the entire bottom as well. Now comes the fun part, with the dyeing of the leather. I'm using Angelus Red Leather Dye that I got from Amazon. I tried buying it directly from Angelus, but being in California and our CARB compliance issues here, it wasn't possible, but it can be much more cost effective if you can source it from the manufacturer. I am simply applying the leather dye indiscriminately to the rough out with a wool brush supplied. I was surprised how much of the bottle I was going through with just one boot of the pair, and for reference, these are size 8 EE Iron Rangers, so if your boot is larger, then you might need more than the 3 fluid ounces these dyes come in. I use about 5/8 of the bottle, which means I have to be more judicious in the application for the other boot. The good thing about this dyeing process is most of the boot will be covered in black leather balm soon, and that means you don't need much skill in applying evenly across the leather. A perfect type of customization for us amateurs. With the dyeing complete, we need to let the boots dry, and I would say overnight should be sufficient, but longer the better though. What didn't dry was the dye on the tape, so I removed it after a few hours, and as you can see, the welt was dyed where the toe cap met the vamp. It was a little difficult to tape around that area though. I later took some acetone to it, which helped marginally. Using a paper towel, I wiped off the dye from the eyelets and the speed hooks, along with patting down the uppers to take care of any excess dye. A little came off, but less than I expected. Now the boot is ready for its second color change, and you might have seen this process in my other videos. We'll need some black Venetian Leather Balm and masking tape to again protect the welt. I won't be mixing the black balm with dark brown this time, as I want a pure black look. What I didn't show in my first Venetian Leather Balm video was a better process to tape off the edges of the leather panels. Please be really careful before attempting this, but using a box cutter, I cut about 3-ish millimeters from the edge of a masking tape roll. Guiding with one finger and rotating the masking tape roll in my other hand, I scour slowly. This is much easier than cutting thin strips of tape with scissors. Cover all the edges with the tape strips you just cut. Initially, I would just use my hands, but as the tape nears the welt, I bring out the box cutter to make sure it adheres to the leather better. This can be a very time-consuming process, but patience here pays off big with a great end result. This could be a fun project with the kids if your fingers aren't as dexterous as mine. Just don't let them touch the blade, of course. The panel edges for the eye stay are usually double thickness, so be sure to compensate there with more tape. Here's the boot completely taped off and ready for the next step, which is the application of Venetian Leather Balm. Rose Anvil's blood core is black, so I stick with an all-black look due to my source of inspiration. I apply with my gloved hand for the majority of the boot's upper leather, but with the feedback from one of my YouTube viewers, I will finish many of the areas near the edges with a wool dauber in very light pressure. This time around, I was much more successful in preventing balm from touching the edges underneath the tape. Back to Rose Anvil, I'm a pretty consistent watcher of his videos, especially those about Russell moccasins. The collaboration with them and Naked and Famous prompted me to experiment with this idea of making my own red core leather boots. Maybe interesting to some, my only pair of technically newly purchased boots is the Rose Anvil and Thursday Boot Company collab, the Heritage Captain. I also use many of his boot breaker insoles in my boots where I need a touch of volume filled up for a perfect fit. In my previous video where I quote-unquote wax an Iron Ranger boot, I applied many coats of the balm, but because I want the red to come through quicker with wear, I will only apply one coat here. After the uppers are covered, I'll use a hairdryer to set the balm and quicken the drying process. Time for the big reveal. Let's see how well our preparation worked out this time. Not too shabby actually. The panel edges are that vibrant red I was hoping for, and there wasn't too many areas where the black Venetian leather balm leaked through. In the case some did leak, you can use your box cutter's razor to gently scrape away at the balm. The final step in this red core transformation is brushing with a horsehair brush. Due to the waxes in the balm, you can achieve a decent shine with a few minutes of brushing. And we're done. Here's a side-by-side, a before and after of the tan Hawthorne Muleskinner rough-out these Iron Rangers started as, and our red core leather with a black wax-like finish. Rose Anvil and Seidel's bloodline leather is actually smooth out with a layer of black wax over it. Similar concept at play here, but due to the fibers being on the outside, it's much easier for us do-it-yourselfers to adhere wax to rough out. Likely Seidel mixes some type of adhesives, for lack of a better word, to keep the black coating stuck to the smooth side of the leather. If you want to buy the real thing, real blood core leather, I included a link to Rose Anvil's website in the video description, but I'm not affiliated in any way. Also, you can find their boot collaborations through White's Boots, JK Boots, Nick's Boots, Goral, and the Russell Moccasin Company. Thanks so much for watching.